Okay, hello and welcome to episode 3 of my Communication Unlocked series. I'm just gonna start this by saying I just recorded a 25-minute video and then I found out that my mic was off. So, God help me. I'm trying to just get this out of the way now. But, anyways, once again, I'm not going over every single detail. I'm trying to just generalize, give um the basic of what the chapter was going over. Just because it's taking too long, I'm not going to do it. So previously, I thought I was just going to go over like each topic in a video. Can't do that. So the video might be longer. I apologize. If you actually sit and watch, thank you very much. So this chapter will be about our self-concept and how it affects our interpersonal relationships and our communication. So, first of all, what is our self concept? So, in simple words, your self concept is a reflection of who you think you are or how you see yourself. So, I might see myself as a quiet person. Maybe I'm not, but I see myself as a quiet person. It also does affect how I present myself to the world, but it's just who you think you are. And then your self esteem is how you value these qualities or characteristics. So say for instance, I'm a quiet person and I hate it. I'm like, oh my god, I hate myself for being so quiet. I wish I spoke up more. Or I'm gonna be like, I'm so happy that I'm very observant, that type of thing. So your personality, which is basically influenced by your self-concept and your self-esteem, is influenced by your biology and your environment. So some people are programmed to be shy, right? So it's just a family trait. Oh, the Smith family is quiet. You get what I'm saying? It can also be like both. Trust me, both. You're born that way, and also just your environment. Maybe just you going off of how you see your family operates, or just things that they tell you. Um, So as I said, yeah, you can program to be shy, but you can also still control how you communicate. So you can still learn how to be more outspoken, type of, like improve. Not improve. That's bad. You can just like be more outspoken. Like you can learn to be more outspoken, and present yourself in that way. Um, Also, it's shaped by socialization. So your personality is also created based on the feedback that you receive from others. For example, being told that you're smart, you're tall, you're beautiful, or that you're ugly, it can affect how you view yourself. So yeah, like my big forehead. Growing up, everybody made fun of my big forehead. Oh Jesus! And then I have this roommate now. She's like, "Oh, your forehead's not big." I'm like, "Girl, I don't know what you're talking about." But definitely, like being raised and told that, "Oh, your forehead big," definitely is still something. Not that I hate it. I don't hate it. I don't care. But yeah. Um, so this shaping of your personality, happens in two ways, right? It's based on reflected appraisal and social comparison. So reflected appraisal basically is the development of your self-concept or self-esteem based on how others view and evaluate you. So a child being told that they're doing a good job, that will affect them positively. But a child being told that they're stupid or they won't be good at anything, that will affect them negatively. And it also, the effect is worse, or the effect is worst, or I don't know, it depends. So the effect is worse based on the respect that you have for this person, who the person is. So maybe your mom telling you, "Oh, you're so stupid," it will affect you more than a stranger seeing you on the road and be like, "You're stupid," right? Or your mom saying, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you," or "You're so smart," might affect you more than somebody else saying the same thing. Also, social comparison. So this is when we compare ourselves to others, which makes us feel more superior or inferior. This is something I hate. I always say like, don't do it, even because sometimes people compare themselves to people who they think are inferior to them just to make themselves feel better, and that's not good. and it's a double-edged sword. So you're going to compare yourself to somebody who you think is not doing better than you or is less successful than you. And then, but that's going to affect you even worse when you find somebody who you think is doing better than you. And you're like, oh, and it's going to affect you. So what I always say is you don't compare, you're not competing with anybody. Just be yourself. We're all in this for our own different reasons. So I have different goals. I have different visions for myself than somebody else. So it would be stupid to compare with somebody else. I might find myself, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous, but somebody's like, oh, she's ugly, and that's okay. Like we have our opinion, and that's fine. Um, so feeling attractive or ugly, feeling like a success or a failure, etc. Um, that's basically the social comparison. It also causes us to feel like a part of something or not a part of something. So, say for instance, you want to be a model and you're like, oh my God, I don't think I can be a model because I don't look like other models that you're comparing yourself to. Or, oh my God, I can definitely be a model because I look good. I look like her, or I look better than her, that type of thing. So now we're going to go over the characteristics of our self concept. So, one, it is not always accurate. So sometimes we think we are better at something than we actually are, while other times we judge ourselves more harshly than necessary. So it's like, I might think I'm so good at singing. I'm awful, but I just think I'm good. That's just an example. But that I'm sure that can be applied to different aspects of our lives. Or sometimes we judge ourselves so hard. I think I'm guilty of that. Like, if it's not perfect, then I don't want it, which is silly because girl, leave me alone. But yeah, so, and I think I wrote this just note briefly. We should be self aware, but also remember that the things you say to others and yourself will manifest, right? So basically, don't only talk about your failures and don't play your accomplishments. A lot of people do this. Sometimes it's saying, oh, you don't want to seem like you're just always talking about yourself or you're praising yourself. So because you don't want to seem like you're praising yourself, you're always talking about the bad that's happening. We're not talking about how good you're doing, or you're not stopping to recognize, oh my God, I just accomplished this huge thing. You're not talking about it. You're not even thinking about that because you're moving on to the next. I think this is a mistake that we make a lot of the time. You don't stop to focus on what you achieved because you're thinking about what you have not. For example, this is kind of talking about myself. I don't care. So I just graduated college, but the graduation was just made to me because I'm like, whatever. And then I'm going back to school September. So it's like, I'm not stopping to think, oh my God, I did my 2 years and that was good. I got my diploma, all of that. That was good. No, I'm like, that's expected, which is not the case. So we have to stop and give ourselves like acknowledging what we have accomplished. So the self concept resists change. So we cling on to past images of ourselves, even if we have changed, right? Um, so in this case, when given an opportunity to expand or change, we operate in a box to match the image of our past self. Um, how would I explain this? So you you were always told that um you're so stupid, you're not gonna do good at this. Or perfect example actually, but I really think I'm not good at this. Math. I always said I'm not good at math. Da 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 da. Da, right? So even when given an opportunity to try and improve at math, do better at math, in a lot of the cases, it's easier to say, no, I'm not good at math, so I know I'm not going to improve. So you don't even give yourself that opportunity to see if you will be better at that thing or if you will learn something new. You don't give yourself that opportunity. Hopefully, you understand. If you don't, I don't mind reaching out. I don't mind feedback. None of that is an issue to me. Just let me know. I don't mind explaining it. So we also have something called cognitive conservatism or conservatism bias. So it's basically the tendency to seek and attend to information that confirms to an existing self-concept or belief. So this is a direct quote from the book. Um, it's basically, say for instance, you believe that mm, I hate the Yankees. I never want to see a good news about the Yankees. I'm never going to watch any good news about the Yankees. I'm scrolling, I see something good, gone. However, if I see something bad, because this confirms my bias, it confirms like a reason for me to not like them, um, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna pay attention to it, right? So that's basically what conservatism bias is, and we do that in every aspect of our life, and it kind of stops us from learning new things because we keep reading about or watching videos of the things that we already agreed to, and then anything that goes off course, we don't want to watch it. We don't want to hear it, right? So now we're gonna talk about changing your self concept. So when a lot of individuals are presented with an image of themselves that is not so favorable, instead of finding ways to improve, they tend to ignore and deny these traits, right? So somebody might say, "Oh, Raven is not a good communicator," but because I think I'm this perfect communicator, I don't listen to that, and that definitely affects like not everything others say is true, but it's also good to be like, I wonder why they said that. Try to get their feedback or try to see maybe where you went wrong to see if there's ways to, because there's always a way for us to improve in this life, right? So now I'm just gonna go over like some tips of embracing a more positive self-image. So one is having a realistic expectation of yourself, right? Being able to identify both your strengths and weaknesses. We all have strengths and weaknesses. A lot of us only pay attention to how good of this we are, how we have no flaws, right? You have to be able to identify your strengths and weaknesses. I can list both. I remember, I'm not going over that now, but yeah, like I can list both. I know I'm very impatient. I know, and it's very bad. But yeah, we're not gonna go over my strengths and weaknesses right now. But you should be able to identify your weaknesses and your strengths. So it's also having realistic expectations, right? Accept that you will not always do everything perfectly. Um, like it's not always gonna be perfect, and that's okay. Also, don't compare yourself to others. We went over this before because this will only make you miserable. So just focus on being better than the you that you were before. Um, the third thing is having the will to change. So be willing to work at improving and don't keep yourself in a box by saying you can't. Oh, I cannot do this. So you never, ever, ever try because you keep telling yourself you can't do it. Maybe try, maybe you fail. Even if you fail and want to try again, go ahead, do it. Right? So it's also having the skill to change. So you're gonna equip yourself with the skill by reading, by listening to podcasts, audiobooks, getting constructive feedback from like people you look up to, right? Um, and yeah, so whatever it is to equip yourself with the skill that will help you to improve, do that. So how we view ourselves and others is also influenced by our intersectionalities and our social positions. So this was a big thing in the social service worker course. Is just going over it. It actually annoyed me a lot of the time. But I'm just gonna explain what our intersectionalities and our social positions are. So, our intersectionality is how our different identities overlap and affect our day to day life. Eh, and how we interact with others. So, say for instance, me, my social position would be I'm an immigrant because I'm in Canada, so I'm an immigrant. I'm black. I'm a woman. Um, what else? We're gonna keep to those three, but that's good. So basically, your intersectionality is literally my intersectionality is literally how does these identities overlap and affect how I experience life. How do I experience life as a black woman compared to a black man? Or um just all of that. Just how your intersection, just how your different identities affect your day-to-day life, how they overlap. So I'm not just seen as a black person or an immigrant, right? I'm not going to be treated the same way um, somebody with a disability is treated, or how a white person is treated, right? Like, not even bringing up like just racism, just identifying our intersectionalities, right? Um, and then our social position, this is basically the position that you hold in society, the amount of money you have, your family status, your education, the job that you have. All of that is your social position. So just, I hope you understand the difference between your intersectionalities and your social position. So now we're going to be going over self-fulfilling prophecy and communication. So self-fulfilling prophecy is when you expect something to happen, which makes it more likely to happen. So I expect to have a bad day, which means I'm going to have a bad. It makes it more likely for me to have a bad day, because then everything is going to affect me. Whereas if I expect to have a good day, no matter how bad it gets, I might try to find the light in the day, right? Um, so you have two types of self-fulfilling prophecy. You have the self-imposed prophecy, so which is where your expectation influences your behavior. Um, so I expect to succeed. So this makes me operate in a way to go towards succeeding, to strive towards succeeding. Whereas, so we also have other imposed prophecy. So this is other people's expectation of you. So somebody might tell you you won't amount to nothing. So you just walk around believing that you won't amount to nothing. So you're just like, what's the point of even trying? So yeah, that's the difference between those two. So now we're gonna go over the perceived self versus the presenting self. So the perceived or private self is a reflection of your self concept. So this is who you believe you are. This is your thoughts, your genuine thoughts when you're by yourself. This is how you feel a lot of the time, and your traits, right? Both positive and negative, right? So that's your perceived self. Whereas your presenting or public self is the person you are with others. So it's the person you are with your partner, it's the person you are at work, it's when you're a mom, when you're at school, all of that. So I'm going to go over identity management. So identity management are basically strategies that we use to influence how others view us. This is a direct quote again. So these are things that we do to influence how somebody else sees us. Um, Maybe we wear makeup to seem more professional. We talk slower, or we talk with less slang to seem more professional. Maybe when you're with friends, you might use slang to seem more cool. So characteristics of identity management. First, we construct multiple identities. So we have a different identity with different people, sometimes even with the same person, right? The language we speak, the slangs we use, the or tone of voice, etc. Sometimes, say for instance, with the same person, sometimes we're more supportive, sometimes we're more stern, sometimes we're more easygoing. That's just like we can be all of those people with the one same person, and we can also be different. We can be more professional. We can be more friendly with different people. So you're gonna be more professional when you're at work. You're gonna be more friendly with your best friend. That's kind of a simple example, but you understand. So identity management is collaborative. So we're acting based on the behavior of others, or how we want others to perceive or respond to us. So say for instance, I'm upset, I'm mad. However, I'm gonna talk to John. I don't want John to get defensive. So instead of going to John and accusing him of something, or accusing him of what I'm mad about, I'm gonna go to him and ask him a question then, or be more friendly with John. Try to ask it under disguise then, instead of, you don't want him to get defensive. So that's me. He's gonna collaborate with me now, because maybe if I went to him upset, he was gonna respond upset. But because I went to him with a calm tone, friendly talking, he's gonna respond in that way. So we're both collaborating to manage our identities, right? Identity management can be deliberate or unconscious. So most of our behaviors, facial expression, etc., are aimed at sending a message. Sometimes we're unaware of it, and sometimes we are aware. So, say for instance, growing up, this is random, but growing up, I would just chase my teeth just because I'm upset, I'm annoyed, I'm doing it. But I'm not aware that I'm doing it. But my mom would always cuss me that I'm doing it. Stop with that, blah, blah. But it literally just happens. Also your facial expression. So I always do a thing where like I'm like, yeah, I always do that if I'm annoyed, anything at all. I'm like, that's weird, that type of thing. So yeah. And sometimes I'm aware, sometimes I'm not aware. So basically that's what it means. It can be deliberate, it can be unconscious. Maybe you have an outburst. You're aware that you have the outburst. So like you want them to know, or I want that girl. I want her to know. Say I'm gonna like her, or you keep it, or sometimes you accidentally make the outburst, and you're like, oopsie, yeah, that type of thing. So why do we manage our identities? I'm not gonna go in details about these. I'm just gonna list them. So one, it is to start and manage relationships. So it's to get others to do what we want them to do. It's to save face, and it's to explore different identities. It's also important to know that people manage identities such as their sexuality, their beliefs, their ethnicity, etc. So maybe somebody is gay, but they're not out the closet, right? So what they can do to manage their identity is they don't talk about it. Maybe they avoid talking about sexuality altogether. Sometimes they lie, right? We're not promoting lying. Like everybody should be comfortable doing whatever they want to do, but it's just a way of managing your identity, right? So how do we manage our identities? So you manage your identity in the way that you speak. It's in your setting and your appearance. So how you speak, your tone of voice, the slangs that you use, just how you speak in general, your setting. So say for instance, your room. Am I a girly girl? Is my room gonna be pink all over? Or am I a sport fan? You're gonna have sports memorabilia all over. That's my setting. And my appearance. So maybe I wear a button-up shirt to look more professional. I actually did wear it because I took a like a headshot today. So yeah. So I wore this to look more professional. That's my presenting self today, a professional. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna wear a dress to, I don't know, express my summer. I love the summer. So yeah, I don't know. You can also do identity management online. So the pictures that you choose to post, that's you managing your identity. This is what I want people to see of me. I don't want them to see me in this way. I want them to see me that way. And yeah, so that's it. If anybody has any questions, I'm free to ask. If you actually watch it this far, thank you. I really appreciate it. Trust me, these videos are gonna get better. I just have to convince myself to just post the videos. Because if I wait until it's perfect, I'm not gonna get it done. If there's anything that I didn't explain properly, or you're like, Ravi-Ann, that's wrong, I don't mind the feedback. Let's go. Because we're all learning, and I'm open to learning. Or if there's anything that you want to clarify or go over, I'm more than happy. Let me know. Have a good day. Toodaloo.